Thank you for the visit. SciQ is science made simple for the rest of us. Enjoy. In most of our science fiction and our projections of the future, everything has changed. We have robots, flying cars, artificial intelligence, warp speed, and laser swords, but people remain essentially the same. In science fiction, this is probably necessary for dramatic purposes. You don't want the characters to be too bizarre, because then your audience might not be able to relate to them. Yet, some really strange and extreme enhancements are coming, and some of the technology to accomplish those enhancements is already here. We had better start giving serious, realistic consideration to how it can be used, how it will be used, and how we should approach it. There are several main areas where we are currently pursuing human augmentation. I'll try to lightly cover a few of them here. Bionics and bionic prosthetics is a form of human augmentation that is already being tested for a small number of special users. The Cyborg Olympics is a competition to test whose bionic limbs and robotics exoskeletons are the best. For the most part, however, bionics at present are in use only to restore lost capabilities. At some point, though, this technology will go beyond just restoring capabilities and will evolve to offer enhanced human abilities. Will Rossellini, who served as an advisor for the latest Deus Ex video game, predicts that our bodies are going to look more like cars in the future, where we just upgrade defective parts. That is already being implemented in real life with robotic exoskeletons. They don't replace the normal human body, but they do give it extra strength and dexterity. Exoskeletons are already being used to help the paralyzed walk or to assist workers in lifting heavy loads, and they are beginning to be used for military applications. As we contemplate integrating machines with the human body, we face a number of difficult hurdles. These machines need better power supplies so that bionically enhanced humans don't have to be tethered by power cords. Moreover, to operate like real human limbs or alongside real human limbs, robotic enhancements need a sense of touch. There have been recent breakthroughs in the production of artificial skin that detects touch and derives power from sunlight. Brain-computer interfaces are being tested for use in controlling artificial limbs for the disabled and for communication with those who are locked in due to spinal cord injuries, or even for reversing paralysis through a neural bypass that allows the brain to communicate directly with the muscles. Brain-computer interfaces have to overcome some basic problems. External systems, like brain scanning headsets, should in theory be able to detect activity in the brain with enough detail to tell when you are thinking of a certain word or when you are thinking about moving in a particular direction. This capability is being explored as a way of controlling an avatar in virtual reality, for example, and it has even spawned a Star Wars-themed force training toy that works by detecting a certain type of concentration. Internal implants face their own set of limitations. Metal and electronics don't tend to mix well with flesh and chemicals, and the formation of scar tissue over implanted electrodes degrades their function over time. There have been recent experiments with implants that sit on top of the brain and project magnetic fields into it, which can be focused very precisely, sending signals from an artificial retina into the brain. Project this out far enough, and you might get virtual reality, an augmented reality coming from inside your head. This technology, whenever it arrives, will revolutionize how we interface with our devices and with the growing digital world around us. The best interface with our technology is not to point and click and scroll through menus. The best interface is no interface. It's to interact with our devices the way we interact with our hands and feet. We just think it and it happens. As Elon Musk explains it, we're already cyborgs. Your phone and your computer are extensions of you, but the interface is through finger movements or speech, which are very slow. The aim is to augment our thinking more swiftly and directly by connecting it to the cloud, thereby having unlimited memory and brain power. Neurotechnology is the most speculative technology of all, because we still know so little about how the human brain works, which limits our ability to affect that function in a beneficial way. Current efforts, particularly under Brian Johnson's kernel, are focusing on neuroprosthetics to enhance memory by breaking the code for the storage and retrieval of memories in a part of the brain called the hippocampus, which can then be augmented by an implant. At some point, this technology is going to be perfected to the point where it will be considered a valuable enhancement. Elon Musk has suggested that this is what we will need to do to keep artificial intelligence from making us obsolete. Back in the 1980s, we first started hearing a lot about the promise of genetic engineering and gene therapy, the idea of being able to edit human genetic code and propagate the new code throughout the body. Reports at the time indicated that it might take another 10 to 15 years before the technology was practical. It turned out to be more like 30 years, but it's finally here, thanks to CRISPR. We needed the final ability to edit DNA at will and propagate the change through multiple cells. And that's what CRISPR has just given us. This has led to speculation that in the future, writing code won't just mean software for computers. It will mean coding DNA. As usual, this technology is being used first for curing diseases, including personalized medicine for cancer treatment and repair of congenital defects. However, Liz Parrish is one brave pioneer who used a new form of gene therapy on herself to reverse the effects of aging. Results of recent tests on her blood and tissues are a very good indicator that gene therapies to reverse age are extremely promising. But the wider possibility for augmentation is obvious. Humanity is the product of a multi-billion-year experiment in testing out genetic variations. We can survey our species and find people with genes that make them taller, smarter, faster, stronger, and so on, and not just by a little bit. There are people in the world who are genetic outliers, born with a capacity for truly extraordinary performance. The idea behind genetic enhancement is to identify those extraordinary genetic endowments and figure out how to patch them into our existing genetic code, giving everyone these enhanced qualities. It is basically a no-brainer that we will genetically enhance ourselves in the very near future. If one country don't enhance, another country will enhance. It is pretty obvious that those who don't will end up living in subservience to those who do. Certain types of gene therapies and gene editing are already being used to treat and cure catastrophic diseases. Bill Gates and Microsoft have committed to an absolute cure for all forms of cancer within the next decade. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, have donated $3 billion towards curing every disease known to man in our lifetimes. It is believed that in the near future we will be able to cure almost all of the worst diseases, especially those associated with aging. Once we really begin using gene therapy and gene editing to keep us well, what will stop us from taking the next step, using the same technology to enhance ourselves to make us better? In closing this video, I'd like to leave you with a thought. The smoke has already escaped the chimney. It's going to be impossible to put it back, meaning the question is not will we enhance, but rather how will we enhance? Many people fear the coming age of enhanced humanity. Fear will not stop progress. It appears that our plight is not to fear the future, but rather to find a way to integrate seamlessly with it. The human struggle has always been survival of the fittest. I can't see where that struggle will change in the age of human augmentation, so it might be wise to get prepared for it ahead of time. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share and leave your comments below. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more releases from PsyQ.